Good morning, this is Jack from Charting the Markets, and this is the pre-market webinar for the morning of Friday, the 20th of February. My disclaimer, it is for educational purposes only. I'm here to share my technical analysis with you. I hope you can take some what I'm doing and learn from it, transfer it to your own chance. I'm not here to issue trading signals. This is a video for paying subscribers at chartingthemarkets.substack.com. It's published on YouTube after a delay of 24 hours. All right, great. Let's have a look at ES first. Now, we're in a 3-day bearish window, which continues till the end of Monday, and so far we've not seen a lot of action on it. We've got a little double bottom that's broken up here on ES, and really I'm expecting this to either head up and make the target or come down and reject. If it rejects, then I'm wondering if we could see, one, we've got a larger double top which is broken down, but two, we've got an even larger head and shoulders which may break down as well. And I've got support for that currently at about the 67.40 area. We are a long way from hitting that. So waiting to see whether this delivers anything today, but if it doesn't, then we'll only have 1 day left of this obvious bearish window to go. But we will still have a reasonably good topping setup on the indices, which I'll be watching, and I'm going to be reviewing a load of the bigger stocks to see how they're looking as well. All right, not in this video though. I'll be looking at selected ones in the video on Sunday. All right, so looking at NQ. Again, double bottom, again, broken up, again, not convincingly failed yet. We will see how this goes, but there is a reasonable setup to fail here. It just hasn't actually done it yet. In terms of RTY, RTY just trading sideways at the moment, YM just trading sideways at the moment. DAX, we had a sell signal, and that made the possible near miss target, almost made the full target, without actually doing a great deal in terms of price, and ESTX did the same. So not a lot that is looking exciting, and basically no open buy or sell signals at the moment. All right, let's have a look at the bigger picture charts. Okay. Now, looking at the daily middle band, obviously we did test that a couple of days ago, and that's held so far, and we're also under the 50 DMA on SPX. On the hourly chart, we had an RSI 14 buy signal fixed yesterday morning, week one, and we've still got one. This is the head and shoulders as shown on the SPX chart. You can see that I've seen this happen before, and perfectly good head and shoulders when they do happen, but we've got the left shoulder and the right shoulder only just below the head, but they are clearly distinct, and it does look like head and shoulders, even if the shoulders look extremely padded. So this is the head and shoulders here, and it's pretty nice. We will see, and the reason I'm looking at this particularly is because we've got a double top here as well. You could argue 1 and 2 here, but I think it makes a better head and shoulders overall. But we've got a buy signal here, currently doing nothing. 15-minute, no current divergence. Looking at the Qs, we are a long way away from a test of the daily middle band. That's coming down, but not particularly fast. On the hourly chart, no divergence. On the 15-minute chart, no divergence. And not a lot of indication about where this might go next. So I'm watching the bearish window to see if we get any action out of that. We will see. Looking at Dia. Dia, I was looking for the touch of 2 trend lines, and it hasn't touched the first one, which is the main rising support trend line from the April low, but it has touched the second one, and that is this one here from the November low. Now I'm expecting that to break, because this looks an awful lot like, and looks most like, a rising wedge which has overthrown slightly at the high, and so the obvious read would be that this would break down now. So I'm going to be watching out for that today. We will see how that goes, but if that breaks, that's encouraging for making the larger rising support trend line here. Which again, when it hits, I would normally expect to break, because we've got a pretty decent looking resistance trend line here, and it is very, very slightly overthrown. All right, let's have a look at IWM. And IWM, we are kicking around the daily middle band at the moment, and we actually broke slightly above it yesterday. We'll see whether that can follow through today. Needs to be confirmed, if so, with another break above today. In terms of the pattern from the April low, we don't have anything particularly clear here yet. I have been looking at options on the bigger picture charts, but if we do have a decent option here, then it's really that we have overthrown this. This is the trend line that has been overthrown and is being re-established as resistance there, but it's a maybe. In terms of the 15-minute chart and the 60-minute chart, going sideways and no divergences, but we are actually pretty close to a retest of the all-time high here. It might just deliver that. Looking at DAX, pretty close to a test of the all-time high at 25.5k, and in the absence of a significant move to the downside, I'll be looking for that. And again, Nikkei pretty close to a retest of 58k. In the absence of any further decline, I'll be looking for that too. All right, great. Let's have a look at the DX chart. Now, DX, we've now got a 60-minute sell signal fixed since I was drawing this earlier, but we do have a potential flag here. It's not got, I think, an ideal resistance trend line. Hang on a second. Bear with me. I think I was measuring this earlier. Oh no, good lord, it has. Okay, that's nice. That is very, very nice. All right, in which case, hang on, bear with me a moment. I'm going to redraw this and I'm going to recapture it for the email this morning. All right, that is a nice flag. That's the resistance trend line there. Bear with me a moment. Lovely anchor, perfect flag, and that's the support trend line. All right. Now, bear flag is a possibility I was talking about yesterday. This is a little 60-minute sell signal, which is fixed at the high. Next obvious target is flag support, currently in the 97 area, and then I'd really be looking for a retest of the lows. From there, we can set up a double bottom, or obviously we can continue down. Looking at the well, if it was purely based on the actions of the administration, it would be heading down, and it may well be. We shall see. All right. In the light of that, hang on, wait a second. I'm just going to capture that. All right. In the light of that, let's have a look at the others. UUSD could well be a flag here. I very much doubt it's as nice a flag as the US dollar one. No, it isn't. But it's still a perfectly decent looking bull flag here, and it may well be breaking back up towards the high. GBP USD, pretty decent looking bull flag here too. USD JPY, if the dollar's going to go down, then this will likely go down as well. We've got a 60-minute sell signal brewing there too. USD CAD, possible triangle forming here. It's not an ideal triangle, I don't think. It's not that far away either. Possible triangle there. Again, that would be bearish and likely lead towards deliver a retest of the low. Australian dollar. We've got a rather shaky looking double top here, but the working assumption would be that if dollar goes down heavily, as both Australian dollar and NZ would likely be going up. All right, looking at bonds. Bonds, we've got no current divergence here, but obviously we had this. Oh, one thing to say. I was muttering that I was missing some of my data. I've got that data back. That means I've changed quite a few of the charts this morning, particularly the precious metals ones, but some on the oils as well. But here we've got this wedge now looks less nice, but that has broken down. It might just be expanding. And if it is expanding, I'd be wondering about it going a bit lower into this trend line here to deliver that and potentially set up a larger pattern from there. On ZN, keeping an open mind, we've got a 60-minute sell signal fix that is suggesting at least more lower prices. CL, we've got a nice triangle here. It broke up and it has retested this high, and we've got a potential level top here and a 60-minute sell signal that's fixed, but has already made it more than half of the way to the target. So I'm watching this with great interest to see whether we are going to see a significant decline here. HO, again, triangle, again, retested the high, again, we've got a 60-minute sell signal fix. This one's, well, it's currently making a higher high at the moment, so it hasn't delivered anything yet. Bob, we've got a nice looking rising wedge here. We've got a potential level top here now that we've retested this high, but the obvious target is up here and in about the 2.055, 2.06 area. We'll see whether that delivers. NG, Still trickling downwards very slowly. Still got a potential double bottom set up, but it's not improving as the days go by. KC, now I've got my data back with the lower low here that I was talking about. I've drawn that in, and this actually is a pretty nice looking flag, which has broken down. Wondering about a retest of this high here at 51.50. It could be expanding into a larger wedge, of course, but the obvious read here would be we'd see a test of 51.50. That would set up a double top, which would then set up a further decline, which would get us back to approximately the 45.75 area or thereabouts. SI looks like a bear flag too. I've had a weak 6-minute sell signal fixed, and that hasn't quite failed yet, but it might be failing today. Palladium, this looks like a bearish triangle. Platinum, this looks like a bearish triangle. And HG, this looks an awful lot like a bearish triangle. I've drawn in the obvious resistance trend lines. In the light of that, this little inverted head and shoulders I was talking about might deliver a retest of the resistance trend line here. But against that, I would say look at the count. A, B, C, D. No, that can't be it. Must be A, B, C, D, E. Because this would be a bearish triangle. This would be the E wave now. And the E wave is typically a shorter wave, which could, of course, therefore be topping out now before setting up a retest of the low. We shall see. All right, looking at KC. Not doing much other than trickling down slightly. We've got a 60-minute buy signal fixed. Hasn't delivered a big rally particularly. SB, consolidating a bit, but probably going to continue trickling downwards afterwards on CC. CC, we've got, it's continuing to trickle down. We're testing support at 3,000. Possible 60-minute buy signal brewing. Wouldn't be a bad time to see a rally. On CT, we've got nice looking little rally up here. Not really an obvious pattern with a target to go higher, but looks like it's going to backtest the monthly pivot at 65.45. Lumber still trickling down, and I think this double bottom is likely failing. It will have failed if we get back to this low here in the 553.50 area, and then the obvious read would be continue down because the bigger picture patterns are bearish. CW, we have continued higher, possible 60-minute sell signal brewing. Corn still looks like a bear flag forming. Soy continuing higher, possible double top here, but not delivering anything so far. On ZL, just in an uptrend. Live cattle, possible topping out action here. It hasn't quite retested this high. That could be setting up a double top. HE. HE is seeing what looks like a bear flag forming, setting up a probable retest of this low, so we'll see. In the meantime, we've got a 6-week 60-minute buy signal fixed, and that hasn't reached the possible near miss target yet. All right, great. Let's have a look at questions. Silver COMEX shortages. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, it sounds like a lot of the rubbish we've been hearing about on silver COMEX shortages for years, and talk about well, there was this. There was supposed to be a shortage of physical silver, and it was going to catch up, and it was really going to hit prices up. But the problem is, I was reading about these for years, and nothing ever happened. And really, I wasn't reading about any of those in any way close to when we actually saw a big spike up in silver. So I don't know. There's a lot of talk about silver, and there's a lot of really fairly conspiratorial talk about silver, which, to be honest, I used to read and disregarded years ago. It sounds like more of the same, and I think that's probably what it is. All right, no worries, mate. Anyway, everyone have a great weekend, and take care. All right, cheers. Oh, by the way, at the weekend, I'm going to be rolling all of the oils and all of the grains into the next contract. All right, cheers.